Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at Shadow Hypno in the Open Great League. I want to give this Pokemon another try again because, last time I didn't try Psyshock and now I want to see how good this Pokemon is with Psyshock. Psyshock is a very good move now. This move got buffed only recently, taking 5 less energy, which now allows it also, with a recent buff to Confusion, to get there super fast. Now, basically, Hypno has the option to go for a very hard-hitting stab move after just, 3 fast moves, which we're gonna see already in the first battle on how important it is and how much of a difference it does, because we have 2 Pokemon here that I guess both would have been weak to Ice Punch, but both Pokemon did not really appreciate Psyshock, and we were able to get a shield and a lot of damage onto the Pokemon, which is really nice. Here, I'm going to use both of my shields though back again, because what I'm going to be able to do is I can go for the full farm against the opponent, and I am going to be able to now also go for a crunch against that Altaria. If they decide to let the move go, I will put them into charm range, and this is exactly what I'm going to try to do here. I'm going to farm them down with a charm, and with that we're going to win, as they're going to have the jump off in the back, which we would have been able to deal with anyway. Moving on, we're going to have the Danny against an Elite. That's going to be a very nice neutral matchup. We're going to have here, again, the option to go ahead and go for some Psyshock damage. Parabolic Charge is not going to knock us out anytime soon, and so it's more of a neutral matchup. You can actually win this, I think, nearly guaranteed in a 2-shield scenario as a Hypno, because you just do so much more fast move damage than the opponent. But it is here going to be just generally, like, we're just going to use a shield. We're going to go for the Psyshock. We see what the opponent wants to do. I think this, in the one-shot scenario, is the worst scenario, which you see as well. The opponent would have been able to reach another move in time, and so I decided to go ahead and go for the Sob into the Steelix, knock them out, and I can now even get another Psychic Fangs off against the opponent. What we also have on our team is Focus Blast on our, Hypno, because actually I want to run Thunder Punch. I think that was the most ideal scenario for me, Thunder Punch on this Pokemon. Allows to hit Pokemon like the, what's it called? Emporion, for example. Also thinking about Fire Punch, which would allow me to hit Pokemon like the, what's it called? The Scissor. This was actually the main reason why I want to run it as a Scissor, which kind of is a problem for this team. We're going to talk a little bit about this later on as well. But here we have Focus Blast just to troll and hopefully hit some Bastion. So I'm not too sure we're going to be able to do it, but this is our best answer for Bastion like this. And here we're going to have a horrible lead. We're going to fluff out straight away into our Steelix. We're going to be able to take those hits from the opponent, and we have to see what they're going to do next. They're deciding to go for a crunch, doing some solid damage, but they're swapping out as well into their own Steelix. I'm going to try to bait a potential Earthquake, so maybe they're going to be inclined to use a shield here, because that would be fantastic. And as you see the crunch is coming through, we are going to be able to go for even another crunch. This is going to allow us to get some more damage onto them. Then comes Hypno, where we are going to be able to just let the move go. This is going to be the crunch. This is going to do some solid damage. But I just want to try to hit another Psyshock and try to get them low, because I know against a Mightyena, I need to keep my Wigglytuff. Wigglytuff is going to be the Pokemon that's going to be able to win the battle for me. And as we will see as well, we are going to be able to just go ahead and put everything onto our Wigglytuff. But the swap out into the Mightyena, allowing us to go for the full farm down. Now it's a 1 HP Steelix against our Wigglytuff, as well as whatever the opponent has in the back here, it's their own Wigglytuff. And this is looking really good for us, because what we have here now, we are going to be able to just go ahead and go for a Swift against them, and we should be able to win this one. I actually overfarmed by a little bit. We have the shield advantage, and with it we should be fine to get to another move. They only have 1 HP left on this Steelix. I did not expect they would stop out straight away. I did not expect that at all. But this is going to be now a loss because of that. Well done from the opponent. I could have definitely won this if they didn't catch the move. I didn't expect that they would stop there immediately after going for their own charge move. Well done though, and we can move on to the next one. So let's take a look here. We are going to have the Gastrodon. Again, usually you wouldn't be able to really do that much with it, but as you're going to see, we are going to be able to now go for the Psyshock, which is going to do some nice damage. And this is fantastic, as you're going to see as well. There is going to be a Psyshock coming through, doing a lot of damage, and in comes the Talonflame. And again, we are going to be able to go ahead and do some solid damage there, as we gonna see the shield coming up. And that's totally fine. We're going to have our Steelix here, and well, this maybe makes no sense to go into a Steel-type Pokemon against the Fire-type. We're going to have the Thunderfang, and Thunderfang is chunking away, especially against a Shadow Talonflame, to knock them out here. we are going to be able to go ahead and now have energy for the next one, which is going to be the Fero. And this is perfect. Fero against us is perfect. This is going to allow us to go ahead and just do some nice damage there. We're going to see the sub out from the opponent. We can retaliate here basically by going for the sub out as well straight away. This is perfect, as we will see here the opponent is going to go ahead and go for the Fero again. But like, they cannot break through 3 of my Pokemon at the same time. This is just not going to work. Like, this is absolutely not going to work. As we will see, there is going to be now the charge move coming through from us. This is going to allow us to get the KO against them with one more fast move here or a charge move from the Steelix. So yeah, good game to the opponent. This is going to be it for this one, and we can move on to the next one. So let's take a look here on what they're going to have. They're going to have the Sableye in the lead. That's of course horrible. That's exactly what we don't want to face. This is the Pokemon that is going to be horrible for lead. But also it's not that great for Steelix. But I was like, if I get a shield advantage, it would be kind of cool. I would gladly take it. And so as you see here, the shield is coming up from the opponent. And I'm totally happy about that. We're going to have still the weak stuff in the back for them. This is going to be alright. And if I get them super low, I might be even have some play with my Hypno. But yeah, weak stuff is going to be able to now get in against the opponent. And they sub out into the Azumarill, which now allows me to get some benefits here, at least from having my Hypno against this Pokemon. I don't have the Hypno against my other Pokemon, against the other Pokemon there, against the Sableye, which would double resist all our damage. Yeah, actually, other than, I guess, actually Focus Blast is not double resisted, it's just single resisted in this game, which is what it is. But as you can see here, there is going to be now the opponent going for, the no shield. We're going to have here still our Hypno. We're going to swap out of here. I'm going to try to go for the full farm down. They have the Bastion in the back. There's nothing I can do here. I still try my best, though. I am still going to try my best. I'm just getting a walled here. There's nothing that I can really do about that. Yeah, we are going to have the charge move coming through. It is going to be the Icy Wind from us, and we see here we don't do damage. We are just not doing enough damage. They are smacking down a little bit too much, and we're gonna try our best here to go into our Hypno, but they're gonna just go into the Sableye, and we're just gonna lose this battle. I thought I would still maybe even get to a Psyshock and then force a shield from them, but I didn't, and yeah, good game there. There's not a lot that I can do in this battle. That was just a hard counter, and honestly, what I have to say, I think Hypno is great. I do personally think that Hypno is a great Pokemon to run. I do think that Hypno's Psyshock is an amazing Pokemon to run. What I do think though as well is that maybe it would have been better to have this Pokemon in the back, because I encountered so many difficult lead matchups with this Pokemon. So yeah, I just don't think it was really great in this position. But this doesn't mean that the team was bad or by any means or whatever. I think the team was actually fantastic. But yeah, again, I should have just most likely played it a bit better there as well. And as you're gonna see here, we are going to have the no shield coming through from us. This is going to be alright here. The Night Scissors coming through, and we're gonna have the full farm knowing as the Scissor. We have at least now alignment. Scissors again a big problem for this team. I actually haven't talked about it yet. This is going to be a Pokemon that is quite tough for us to deal with, as we have a lead that's going to be weak to it, and we have a Pokemon in the back that's kind of weak to it. Steelix is totally fine, but we just ABA weak to Scissor, and it's a bit tough there. So yeah, as you're going to see, we're going to have here a charge move coming through. This is going to allow us to go ahead and go for another Swift, and this is going to be, a good game, and we can move on to the next one. So let's take a look here. We're going to have this Charizard against us. This is going to be totally fine. We're going to have a lot of fast move pressure against the opponent. We're going to have Psyshock against the opponent as well, which is totally perfect as well here. As you're going to see, there is going to be the Psyshock coming in against the opponent. We are going to be able to just go for the charge move here. And this gets us into the position where you can go into the Steelix, which is perfectly fine as well. We're going to have, the Ferrothorn coming in. All right. This is actually not a bad matchup at all. It's actually the best matchup for us, where we could have had the Ferrothorn. But that being said, while Ferrothorn kind of walls our moveset for the other Pokemon, it is actually not that bad. As you're going to be able to hit this Crunch as well, we are going to be actually in a very solid position. We have another Psychic Fang Steely coming through there, but it's alright, because we got enough damage onto them. This is all the damage I need in order to put them into range for Psyshock. They go to the Belly Bolt here against us. And while the fast move is going to do super effective damage here, we're going to try to stop out of here. There's going to be the Wiggly Tough. And as you're going to see as well, we are going to be able to just go ahead and go for the shield and just farm them down and have now this the Icy Wind against that Ferrothorn. I know we're Winston Pitta against the Ferrothorn as well, and this is perfect. This is going to allow us now to get that debuff onto them. We can try to go for another charge move, but it doesn't work out, and we can move on to the next opponent. Where we will see here on our right lead, but even a better swap for us. We're going to have here the Spiritomb, which is going to get hard countered by our Wigglytuff. I thought actually here for going for a shield, because I thought that the Wigglytuff also has a lot of play against that Stunfisk that we saw in the beginning. But at the end of the day, I felt like it is better to have shields on the Hypno, which has access to Confusion, which has a little bit more damage, I think, than Charm currently, with a Shadow bonus on top of it. And I think that was a little bit more of a smart choice. And that's why I decided against it, especially as I was debuffed here anyway. And so I am going to be able to now to go into my Hypno first, but they sub out into the low kicks, and that's going to be a bit of a tough matchup because low kicks, this is going to be one of the hardest answers to, of course, Psychic type Pokemon. It's a Pokemon that I haven't seen in quite a while, but I guess it still has some play. We are going to see here that we kind of have to rely on our fast move down. We have to have the fast move pressure against them in order to have any chance of winning this one. And as you're going to see here, Trailblaze coming in. We're going to try our best to go for the full farm down. This is going to work out quite well for us. And in comes now the Stunfisk again, where we have a little bit of energy that we can use in order to drop the defense off them. We can stop out straight away. They still have 2 shields left, but we have too much pressure against them, and with that we're going to be able to win this battle. Next battle, we're going to encounter Scissor against in the lead, and yeah, this is just tough. I should just let the first move go here and hope that they just play out this matchup, but they don't, and they're going to go into the Blasters, which is honestly not too bad. And again, I feel like maybe I should have even played it a little bit better. This is going to be here, a Hydro King coming through. I think I should have rather shielded and tried to align myself and try to keep my Scissor still, my Steelix still alive. I think it would have been possible. But like this, I'm just going to try to get as much energy as possible here. As we will see here, we are going to be able to reach over Psyshock. 1 more fast move to a Focus Blast, I think. It's actually 2 more fast moves, but they're going to have the Ferret. Can we finally land the first Focus Blast of this video? No. It wasn't working. Focus Blast is too niche in order to really work. It only works against those certain Pokemon that are actually good against it. For example, a Ferret, where it's going to be a good answer to usually the Hypno generally, but otherwise just against other Dark type Pokemon. But it's too situational, and it never really worked out for me. So I feel like if I had on Hypno maybe Fire Punch, which would have allowed me to pressure the opponent's Steelix as well, but Scissor mainly all the time, that would have been definitely beneficial for this team. I do think that Scissor itself is a very cool Pokemon, though. The Hypno is definitely a very cool Pokemon to run for yourself as well. But again, I wouldn't really recommend Focus Blast. I was just hoping you could get some cool gameplay here for use with this move, but honestly, the Pokemon itself just didn't really work out that well for me with this charge move. But anyway, you're going to have here the Diggersby against us, and let's swap out now into the Malamar. I know that the Diggersby has energy. I just don't know how much energy this Pokemon has, and this is going to be something that's kind of important for later on. We see the Superpower coming through here. We're going to try to do our best to go for the full farm down. And as we will see, there's the Talonflame coming in. We can go ahead and go for the Swift. This is going to allow us to go for some nice damage here. And in comes the Icy Wind. And this is going to allow us to at least drop the attack from them. All good, right? We're still going to have even our Hypno, which I want to sub out first into, which I should have done as well. I don't know why I didn't do it, but I guess I want to catch the move, which also works out quite well here for us. This is Steelix is now going to take a fly. I am going to get some extra energy here in against the opponent. They're going to go into the Diggersby. And this is looking really solid for us because this is going to allow us to get some nice damage against them. And it's only 1 fast move away from actually knocking them out. And as long as they don't get to 2 Scorching Sands here, we are going to be fine. And they're going to go back to back for moves here. This cannot be a Scorching Sands, right? It actually is. And with that, we're actually in a position where they can farm us down. We need a bit more energy, and we would have been fine here. But yeah, I didn't, and so we move on to the final battle, where we will face one of the worst possible leads. But what I actually realized here for this matchup is I would recommend you to get some energy first on your Hypno before swapping out. Get 2 fast moves in, and I think you're going to be in the right spot with that. I think it's going to be totally okay for you, because then you are going to be able to just do some solid damage here first, but then have some energy for later on, because if you have energy against Scissor, you're actually going to be usually quite good with it. It's not going to be something that is too threatening there for you then, because just any kind of charge move kind of could kill Scissor. Scissor doesn't have a lot of bulk. It's still such a good Pokemon because of the meta that we're currently in. It's so good against basically everything right now, which is kind of mad. But anyway, we're going to have here the opponent's Corsair. I actually decided to use a shield here, and now I can go for the full farm run against the opponent as well. I just want to keep some health on my Wigglytuff. Let's see if this is going to work out for me. I have a ton of energy here against them, and they stop out into the Azumarill, a Pokemon that I don't really have the best play against. But I have my Hypno. I tried to go for the charge move, but it didn't work out in time. And as you will see, there is going to be that Ice Beam coming through. It's not going to be enough to knock me out. And I have to, of course, use a shield here. There's no other way of us winning this battle. In comes the X-Force here. Confusion is going to be coming through. And we're going to be able to go for another Psyshock. This is going to allow us to get a lot of damage onto them. But is it enough damage to actually win us this battle here? Well, let's find out. We have another charge move coming through. They decided to use a shield. And now I have the Swift Spam on my Wigglytuff. There are so many charge moves are getting fired off by us. We had so much energy stored on all our Pokemon. And now Swift is coming in again. This is going to do a little bit of damage at least. And they are going to knock us out here, which is alright. But we still have one or more Pokemon left there. Never mind. I don't need that. Ice Beam was not enough to knock us out. And with that, we're going to be able to win this final battle. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to leave a like. And I will see you then. Bye bye.